Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On today's episode, it's just going to be a little solo ep with little old me getting you all caught up on everything that you missed out on last week with our missed episode. With that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Like I said in the intro, guys, this is just going to be a little bit of a short solo episode. Mine and Jordan's times didn't really align on being able to talk together, and I definitely didn't want to miss out on 2 weeks in a row on you guys. Now, I couldn't do you guys like that. So, I kind of just want to take this opportunity to kind of branch into what were we doing last week? Why didn't we hop on the old podcast? Well, see, I was, little truck story for you, a car story for you. I was in my truck, I think about 2-3 months ago, and, I'm not the best at doing maintenance, especially on the old daily, which is very unfortunate because, you definitely want to take care of your daily, but I'm just, the truck just gets a little bit of the back burner, if you know what I mean. Well, back in the summertime, I was like going to go get some fast food on break, and I knew my brakes weren't the best. I knew they definitely need to be changed, and I was going to turn in, and I shot a caliper out the side of I shot a pad out of the side of the caliper, and no more brakes. So, anyways, long story short, me and Jordan replace everything up front, get brand new brakes, rotors, pads for everything up front. One caliper was so damaged, the one that shot out the pad, that we ended up replacing that caliper, and I guess some of you are kind of beating me to the story here, but Jordan urged me, please, we need to change out that driver caliper soon, because that driver caliper now is going to be seeing excess wear because of the new caliper on the passenger side. Well, quite honestly, I kind of forgot about that completely, and here we are, a week ago, and I noticed, luckily, the same thing didn't happen, but I did notice my brakes were getting extremely squishy and like grinding and doing all kinds of bad things. And sure enough, that brand new pads and rotor that I had put on the front driver's side at the same time as the passenger side had got completely, and I mean completely, demolished by that used caliper, because, like I said, it was doing some. It wasn't doing as much work as the new caliper, so it was seeing excess work. It was having to do more. They just shredded those. They shredded those pads and that rotor. I mean, that rotor. It was cheaper to buy a brand new rotor, but we were curious. It wasn't even able to be resurfaced. That's how bad the rotor was. And like I said, it was a brand new rotor back during the summertime. And if that's not a testament to go get your preventative maintenance done, I don't know what is. And so that's where we were last week, and it kind of turned into a whole thing. We did the brakes the day before. Well, the shoot day came around, and we were like, all right, we need to ride up to Ford. We had Jordan had a side job to do, and I had a front end alignment to do. So I was like, let's kill two birds with one stone. You can ride with me, and we'll do my alignment, and we'll do dude's side job, and then we'll go record the podcast. Well, it gets later and later and later. Let me just tell you that what we were doing is it was a buddy of his GTO, and he needed a coupler bearing, which is the bearing that's in between the two-piece drive shaft. Carrier bearing. Carrier bearing, and that thing was shot. I mean, like, it was literally just there for moral support. Like, it was just free floating, essentially. Well, it's no big deal. We got to drop the drive shaft and everything out to get to the header, which we also had to work on. He was rubbing on the steering shaft, typical issue you see with aftermarket headers on those cars, especially cheaper ones. Well, this car had been a underwater car, so eat up with corrosion and rust, and oh my God, that drive shaft... It probably would have came apart if we'd put it to heat. Of course, it was just rust welded together, but dude wanted to drive it home, and we're like, buddy, we ain't about to ruin your ride home just because we're trying to, replace this carrier bearing. So, fortunately, we let the guy go ahead and go, and we did get his header, but oh my God, that took forever. If you've ever had to do this before, taking that exhaust out, and for some reason, and you guys just tell me, I understand that, Jordan told me it is kind of a common thing, somewhat common thing that LSs do, that the headers do kind of I wouldn't say break off, but those clamps that go from the header to the rest of the exhaust, they do kind of break or wear down, what have you. Well, the person who installed his long tubes had TIG welded about an inch long bead to connect the header and the rest of the exhaust, and then clamped over top of that. So to get the exhaust out without having to like just make a humongous deal out of it, we had to take a die grinder to that TIG weld to both sides just so we can get it enough to where we could finish beating it the rest of the way off. And man, it was rough. And then we had to drop the rack and pinion to get the header out. It was just a whole big mess. I don't think we got finished with that guy's car until we were probably knocking on 9 o'clock's door. And then that wasn't counting. Well, yeah, it was 9 o'clock. And then after that, of course, front end alignment took no time at all. And after we got talking for a while, and it's an hour drive home for me, I got home around midnight. It was terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. Not only that, but we had an interview actually set up for last episode. We were actually going to interview a college graduate that went to college through a scholarship of gaming, which is super interesting. A great guy, great friend of mine in Jordan's. We're going to have an interesting conversation. We're still going to make up that interview, so don't fear of that. But it kind of sucked because we had to call out on him. We're like, hey, man, cars are being cars right now, and we're kind of out late working on them. He's like, oh, man, we chilling. That's good. We'll redo it. And me and Jordan are driving back. We're like, man, this really sucks. We both really hate missing weeks. And but lo and behold, that was just the best decision to make. We unfortunately didn't have a backup episode recorded like you had seen before. But we definitely need to get on recording a backup for you guys. So that's kind of where we were with last week. Fast forward to this week. Oh my God, this week has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. So that was Thursday that we were getting into all that mischief. And Friday, Friday's whatever. We thought about just recording a day late, but, we were like, you know what, let's just regroup fully for today's episode. And I'll get to why today's episode is a short one, because it boils down to more than just, scheduling conflicts. But so Sunday, I wake up, my throat's a little scratchy. I didn't think anything of it. It was just, it's one of those things where you're like, could it be allergies? Could it be, the change in weather? Who knows? Well, I was just gloating at work a couple weeks ago. Everybody was sick. I mean, half the department was sick. And for some reason, I was one of the only ones to not catch it. I was gloating about not having caught it. Well, I should have kept my mouth shut, because as we progressed Sunday, and, I hate to really call out late on my boss, but about midnight, I was like, you know what? I'm texting boss. I've got vacation time. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself through this. I'm sick. He said, hey, man, it's all good. Get well soon. Everybody's sick. It's all good. Well, I'm glad I did, because I didn't sleep a wink that whole entire night. I mean, it was just like up, down, just it got worse and worse and worse. And eventually, I think around like 4 a.m., it's just 4 and 6 a.m., just like throwing up. Like, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I had the flu, but anyways, I didn't get over that until Wednesday. I'm still kind of recovering now. I'm still kind of blowing my nose and all that good stuff. I'm really worried that Jordan's going to catch it, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But that also brings me to why we didn't make up the interview this week, and that's because, unfortunately, the guy we're interviewing, he is deathly ill. He unfortunately caught it as well, so we're kind of having just to wait for everybody to recover. It seems like this funky sickness is just like hitting everybody right now. Like everybody at my work, Jordan's work, they just got over it. They kind of ran through it during Christmas time, so everybody's sick right now. This weather's insane. It's getting ready to snow a whole bunch on Sunday. So, man, it's just it's not good timing. But we have been utilizing the free time to kind of brainstorm on some future projects we're doing. We've been making some good strides in making some good specials for you guys this year. I think it's going to be an amazing year for this extra content that you guys are going to be receiving around the holiday times. Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. It's going to be a great year, I believe. But I kind of just wanted to fill you guys in on where we were, what happened, what's the deal, and that's basically all I have for you guys. I just wanted to hop on, check in with you guys, just a little short 10-15 minute episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I promise we will have our regular show back to next week, and we hope to see you guys there. With that being said, guys, we'll catch you guys in the next one.